Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stated this week that Kyiv would accept nuclear weapons if NATO membership is not guaranteed. The United States is not likely to agree to these terms. Retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg said Ukraine's chance of reclaiming nuclear weapons is very slim. He emphasized that this outcome is unlikely to happen. In 1994, Ukraine gave its nuclear weapons to Russia after the collapse of the Soviet Union. This decision was made in exchange for security assurances from Russia, the US, and the UK. Russia has violated this agreement by repeatedly invading Ukraine. Zelensky argued that Ukraine should regain its nuclear arms if NATO membership is off the table. Kellogg dismissed the idea of rearming Ukraine with nuclear weapons. He referenced Trump's emphasis on common sense in government decision-making. He suggested that the idea of returning nuclear arms lacks practicality. Zelensky confirmed his willingness to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Ukrainian leader said he is open to a face-to-face meeting to end the war. Putin has not agreed to any in-person meeting with Zelensky. Trump recently confirmed that initial talks with Ukraine and Russia had started. Kellogg acknowledged that concessions from both sides would be needed for a peace deal. The administration has not disclosed the specific compromises that are under discussion. Ukrainian NATO membership remains a key issue for both Zelensky and Putin. Kellogg did not comment on Trump's stance regarding NATO membership for Ukraine. He mentioned upcoming travel to Europe for direct discussions with allies. Kellogg plans to brief Trump after meeting with European leaders. He will attend the Munich Security Conference from February 14th to 16th. Kellogg intends to discuss Russia's war in Ukraine with world leaders. He aims to gauge the positions of nations providing military aid to Ukraine. Face-to-face discussions will help develop plans for ending the conflict. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte recently urged members to support Ukraine further.
We really have to step up and not scale back the support for Ukraine. We have to change the trajectory.
Rutte highlighted the importance of NATO deterrence against Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. He warned that a bad deal would empower these adversaries.
How China and North Korea and Iran and Russia are all working together, and this is basically testimony to the fact that this is not only a European conflict, it is a geopolitical issue, a geopolitical conflict which is being fought out. And if we get a bad deal, it would only mean that we will see the president of Russia high-fiving with the leaders of North Korea, Iran and China, and we cannot accept that. That will be geopolitically a big mistake. So for all these reasons, but also for NATO itself, if Ukraine would lose, that would mean that within NATO we are not talking about whatever 3% instead of the present spending commitments we have made within NATO, whatever exactly the outcome of that debate will be. It will not be billions extra, it will be trillions extra. Because if Ukraine loses, then to restore the deterrence of the rest of NATO, again, it will be a much, much higher price than what we are contemplating at this moment in terms of spending up, of ramping up our spending.